You literally do not need to sell products from China to generate consistent sales. In the last 90 days on one of my dropshipping stores, I was able to generate $283,000 in sales with literally less than 210 orders. Okay. I don't know where I was going with, I was trying to say less than 100 orders, but there's 205 orders. Okay. So with this business model that I'm going to show you, which is called high ticket dropshipping, because you probably see my YouTube channel by now, I'm going to share with you why you do not need to dropship from China in order to build a profitable and sustainable business that you can actually depend on for cash flow. Cash flow is key. You need money to survive. You need rent to pay, bills to pay. You have your girl to take out on dates. You have every expense in the world, and you need a business that can cash flow consistently so you can pay your bills and save and invest for the future. So with that being said, tons of our clients have generated tons of sales, and you can see just from this list alone, tons of clients have generated sales and left great reviews of our program. And you see the problem is whenever you search up dropshipping up on YouTube, you're going to see videos like this. And again, no offense to anyone that makes videos like this, but all of these videos tell you to sell cheap products from China, and it simply does not work. Okay, I lied there. It does work, but for an absolute beginner, which are 99% of people that are watching, videos about dropshipping or online business for the first time, they're usually younger or they're trying this for the first time. The likelihood of them succeeding with this type of dropshipping, which you see on YouTube right here, is very, very slim. Like I would say less than 1%. And the reason behind that is because of the fact that you're already competing with other people that are selling the same products, but the margins are way, way lower. For example, this is the low ticket dropshipping store I just literally found on Google that sells a golden hour sunset lamp for $28. And they literally have a 40% off discount code on their product right now. So if you were to just look at the $28 without the discounts or anything, you're already at such a disadvantage. So let's just take $28 times, let's just say you have 50% margins. That's only $14 to acquire a customer from complete stranger into a customer. Now we look at this sauna right here, which is $7,499. Okay, assuming we have lower in terms of a percentage margin on this, let's just take a conservative 25%, which is honestly on the lower end for saunas, but that's still $1,800 to acquire a customer. Now, if you're brand new to online business, you might not know this, but you need to understand this. The advertiser or the business owner that can spend the most on advertising, or also known as marketing, will win in the end. Because for his business to scale, when you're doing $1 million a year and you're only spending, let's just say $50,000 a month on ads, if you were to 5x that to $250,000 a month on ads, you would also therefore 5x your revenue from $1 million to $5 million a year. So in the end, business is all about spending more money on marketing profitably and by optimizing each individual variable. Like for example, if someone lands on this product page, you can optimize maybe the offer, like what they get with the sauna. Maybe you can optimize the live chat. Maybe you want to optimize more people actually calling you interested in these saunas. These are essentially percentage points inside of e-commerce that will therefore improve your profitability and therefore make you more money. And I don't want to get too political or anything related to the economy, but this is also a very fair point for people that are considering dropshipping for the first time. Should you sell low ticket or should you sell high ticket? If we just look at the 2026 economy and what we are expecting, this is based on my research and the research of many other experts as well. 2026 economy is expected to have a slow start and have lingering effects of tariffs and policy uncertainty. Okay, 2026 I fully expect to be a tougher year than 2025 in terms of the markets, in terms of stock markets. There might be temporarily, of course, that's not there to say like, hey, you should start a business just because you're going to have a few slower months of the year. Yes, that is not how you should think about it. But if you look at the long trajectory, because the economy goes ups and downs, it has its, ups and downs in the economy. If you just think about who would you rather sell to? I would rather sell to rich people in any sort of recession. Okay, right here. During a recession, rich people often continue strong spending driven by investments and assets, while poor middle class families cut back on non-essentials. So if your products are non-essential, which a lot of times is going to be the case, you're already losing 70-80%, because I don't know how many people are considered rich by all standards, but most people are considered poor or middle class, and that's largely, like, I would say, 70% of the markets. And by selling low ticket, you're already removing all those customers away. Rich people, oftentimes they continue to keep spending in recessions, tough times, just because they already have money. They have a source of income that's coming in consistently. So now you know the differences between low ticket and high ticket. How do you find what products to sell that are over $1,000? Well, there's multiple ways. I have plenty of videos that cover this in more detail, but the best way, and one great way, is to use ChatGPT and just tell, like, I want to sell to customers that are considered high, like rich or upper middle class. I prefer to sell products. This is something you can throw in. I prefer to sell products to women, just because women tend to, based on my studies and my demographics from my store, women tend to spend more than men. So I prefer to sell products to women that are older and have excessive income to spend. Give me a list of high ticket products over $1,000 that I could look into, or $1,000 that I could look into. All right, and then now ChatGPT will tell you, so handbags, jewelry, watches, designer clothes. Honestly, I would avoid stuff like luxury versions. Like, for example, watches. There's obviously expensive watches, and there's like cheaper watches. Same thing with jewelry. Same thing with handbags. So what I would recommend you do is, I would prefer to pick something that there's usually higher, like the products are usually expensive regardless of like who you are selling to. For example, one thing is like a bathroom vanity. No matter what type of bathroom vanity, there are cheaper versions, of course, but like bathroom vanities usually starts from in the thousands. So we have luxury home furniture, premium wine or liquor collections, high-end kitchen appliances, travel experiences, and with tons of different ideas right here. So what I would do is I would look into, like, for example, if I want to look into, let's just do premium wine or liquor collections, I would just tell, like, ChatGPT, I like premium wine or liquor collections. What high ticket products would those include on my website? And here we would look into vintage wines. There's lots of different wines. Okay, liquor collections. Okay, obviously I would not be selling liquor. The reason behind that is, that's actually a good question. Why would you not sell liquor? So with search of like Italian wines, you can see there are like websites that are selling wines, and this might be a limiting belief. But usually I don't like to sell things that are in like things that can break, especially things are this expensive, like $7,000 for, I know nothing about liquor or wine or alcohol or champagne or anything in between. These are very, very, very expensive, obviously $7,500, and they're not even including tariffs. It's probably it's 2 to 4 months delivery. So I usually would not recommend you sell wines, but let's see what products we can sell around wines. Okay, I don't want to sell the actual wines. What other products around wines or things people would need to taste or drink these wines would buy that are considered high ticket? And then we have, okay, so we have wine refrigerators, wine cellars, wine racks, cellar furniture, high-end wine glass sets and crystal glassware, wine decanters, aeration system, I don't know what that is, wine dispensers. So we already have right here, we just went from a general idea, we looked into the wine niche, and it recommended wines, which we're not really going to sell or shouldn't be our main priority. And then now we're narrowing it down to actual products. So now we have actual products. Let's just look at like wine refrigerators, and we searched up on Google, and let's just look at some other stores that sell wine refrigerators. So we'll open up a few stores. So we have opened up 4 stores right here. So we have winecoolersempire.com, wine racks, wine enthusiasts, in Ferguson Home. So you can see right here, these are many different stores that sell wine cellars or wine refrigerators. In this case, all we have to do is just to look at who manufactures these, and are these people that are selling these wine refrigerators, are they dropshipping? The easiest way to know if they are dropshipping is if you see something like an authorized dealer. That already immediately lets you know that they're dropshipping these products. They're not holding inventory. Another way you can tell is if you see the brand. So this might be a little bit hard if you're doing it for the first time, but if you see the brand or the manufacturer that produces this, so in this case Avalon, that is the manufacturer. That's not Ferguson Home is a retailer that sells Avalon wine refrigerators. Avalon is a different brand that they carry. So you can use that same mentality to find other stores that sell other brands, and that means that they are dropshipping. So if we look up Avalon, for example, just look up Avalon fridges, and I think I found it right here, avaloncoolers.com. This is essentially the manufacturer that produces these wine refrigerators, and that goes into our next step, which is instead of partnering with AliExpress suppliers that are all public, where it has the prices all labeled on like the website, we want to work with like private suppliers or local manufacturers like Avalon Coolers. And what you want to do here is you want to look for like a phone number of some sorts. So this supplier's website does not really have a phone number, but you should not stop there. There's many tools like Apollo.io, which is an excellent tool. If you just plug in Avalon Coolers into Apollo.io, I'm not gonna show you inside this video. I have showed you in other videos because I'm on like a private browser. I can't like sign in or anything. But you can use this tool to find an email and phone number of a decision maker at Avalon Coolers. Tell them, hey, I would like to become a dealer for these products right here, and you would want to work with them and sell them on your website. If you just go on YouTube and search up Trevor Zheng USA Supplier, you will see me covering these topics and how to find these suppliers more into detail. So after you find these suppliers, now it's time to, in the meantime, build your website. I would recommend Shopify. Shopify is a great platform to host your website. You can get started with $1 a month for 3 months. And with that being said, once you have Shopify, then you have suppliers. Then the last final step is to start advertising for these products. So every time someone searches Avalon wine fridges, you want to have your ads up on Google Shopping, which is the best ad platform that I would recommend if you're starting for the first time. This is because people that are on Google are looking to actually buy these Avalon wine fridges or any products that you're actually selling. And by doing so, you can target customers that are already looking to buy instead of selling to customers that are on TikTok or Facebook that have no intentions of actually ever buying a wine fridge from you. So I would recommend Google Ads. It's one of the most, it's my favorite platform. I've tried every single platform out there: Facebook, TikTok ads, and Google Ads literally is the best one out of them to sell high ticket products. And I have many videos also on how Google Ads works, but just to give you a quick rundown, every time someone searches the product that you're selling, you want your ads to appear here inside of Google Shopping. Whenever someone clicks on your ad, that's when you're charged a certain amount called cost per click. Now, the cost per click can depend on how much you're bidding. So someone that is near the very top of Google, they're going to be paying more per click versus someone towards the very bottom. Now, I would not recommend jumping all the way to the very top in the beginning because it's very expensive and oftentimes not profitable until you actually optimize, how in the beginning of the video I said optimize all the variables in your business to make sure that you're squeezing as much revenue from each customer that comes into your business. So once someone comes in your business and you're selling something like an Avalon wine cooler, I'll just click on one, and once someone buys from it, you just send that order to your manufacturer, Avalon wine coolers, and they will ship that directly to the customer. So that's how the high ticket dropshipping works. Very similar to traditional dropshipping, which you most likely already know. But the main difference is we're working with actual reputable suppliers instead of low quality AliExpress suppliers. And from there, it's all about perfecting your system and running more ads in order to scale up your business, in which I have plenty of videos on that. It is not as simple as it literally sounds. I'm not trying to promise you like it's super easy or anything, but once you understand it, it can be pretty simple as a way to scale your business from doing $1,000 per day to $10,000 a day. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave any comments if you have any questions, and if you want to work with myself and my team to build a profitable high-tech e-commerce store to 10K a month profit, there's a link down below for that as well. See you guys in the next one.